Good morning, BNI. Welcome to our showroom, located off John Tyler Highway. Welcome inside the showroom. Inside here is where you can see we have a lot of our window coverings open for clients to see. A lot of these treatments can be difficult to bring in the van, so we have the showroom to kind of show those off. I'm going to go ahead and go over some of these treatments so that you can kind of get an idea of some of the basics. So this right here is a vertical sliding door application. As you can see, this one stacks up really tight, and when it opens, it gives you that light and airy feel. It's light filtering. It is a cellular or honeycomb shade, and this right here has a custom window valance that we did to cover up the frame up top. So this would be a vertical cell shade. This is another vertical sliding door sort of application. This is what they call a smart drape. It gives you that silhouette look, while at the same time you have the individual veins that will come apart. They're slightly magnetized so that they do come right back down together. So whenever you do want to go in and out through your patio door, you can just kind of slide right through them and go that way. You operate these with a wand right here, where you could turn the louver. You're going to go ahead and get your privacy settings right there, and then you would get your silhouette setting, and then when you don't want to have them, you would just go ahead and slide them off to the left. So that is another vertical application called the smart drape, called sliding panels. They're made with the roller fabrics that you can get from the roller shade books, and they would be off of a cord draw, and then they stack up nice on the left and the right side of the window. So if you had to slide a window right there, we could save your window space by putting these on the sides of your wall. So if you find a nice fabric, they also become sort of a decorative piece as well when they're open. This would be sliding panels. Here's another one of our vertical applications called the Averte. The Averte is a woven wood decorative covering to cover up that slider. It can give you the sort of beachy feels, the natural feels that you're looking for. And they also have a nice tight stack off to the side when you're not using them. And then it can come in a variety of light filtering, room darkening. They're a good price point to get a beautiful window covering. Now we're on the shutters. Shutters are one of the top tier window coverings that are completely customizable to your windows down to the 16th of an inch. These shutters right here are the composite kind that we use from Norman. Composite tends to be the most effective sort of shutter for this area because of the increase in temperature and temperature drop that we can get can be so big that if there was any swelling in a traditional wood shutter, that could allow warping, which could lead to paint chipping. These composite ones are a micro density wood fiber with a resin in it, so when they do expand and contract, they're going to be not warping the wood. So that's why we use composite here. With these shutters, you're always going to have a few different options for choosing how you want to set them up. First is going to be louver size. Next is going to be if you want a divide rail. And then after that, you're going to have your panel configuration. To start off with some of the basics, this right here is the divide rail. It typically goes to where the window top and bottom meet, so it covers that up. The traditional standard window covering would have a divide rail. This shutter right here does not have a divide rail. So you can see how it's just a straight shutter with all louvers. And then the one to the right of it does have the divide rail. So that's going to be the difference between divider rails. The next decision that a client would have to make when looking at shutters would be the louver size. Louver sizes come in 2.5, 3.5, and there is a 3-inch in between. This one down here is a 4.5, is meant for larger beach houses with massive windows. When you're choosing louver size, a couple of things to think about is the larger the louver, the bigger the opening. The bigger the opening, the more view. The more view, the more light. So that's the sort of thing that you would want to think about when trying to determine your traditional louver size. The next decision would be your panel configuration. For your standard single window, you normally be choosing between a single panel and a double panel. This right here is a single panel. The single panel this one has a divide rail and the invisible tilt. But as you can see, it has that Nice wide open shutter look, as you can imagine. This one right here is the double panel. The double panel is awesome. Also will give you that more traditional feeling where you can saloon them open, where you can bifold them out left and right. At the same time, something to think about though with the double panel configuration is that these are always going to meet up in the middle. So you're going to lose a little bit of your sunlight going through the center of your shutter. So it's just determining if that amount of sunlight bothers you or not to lose. So the double panel configuration, and then the single panel configuration right here. Now, one of the last choices that you would have to make with your shutters is if you like to have the tilt bar. The tilt bar is this right here. It's an item that will open and close all the louvers. The traditional tilt bar has a staple right here and a staple into the louver. So that's how they're all connected, and that's how they move as a unit from that one tilt bar. The new one that they have is called Invisible Tilt. Invisible Tilt has a gear system that goes throughout the entire frame right here. And in that gear system, we set it where we want it to stop for one set of louvers and where we want it to start for another set of louvers. It kind of cleans it up a little bit and makes it a little bit less busy. Also, there's no sort of metal bar going on the back that you might see that some of the other competitors use. And it's just a solid invisible tilt sort of feature. And these are faux wood blinds. Faux wood blinds come in two different louver sizes. This is a 2.5 inch louver, and then this is a 2 inch louver size right here. Once again, with louvers, the bigger the louver, the bigger the opening. The bigger the opening, the more view, the more light. The 2.5 inch louver is a slightly bit more expensive than the 2 inch louver. The 2 inch louver is almost the gold standard now for faux wood blinds. The valance that it comes with is a stately deco valance right here that actually goes well with just about all trims. It's the most sturdy valance that you're going to find for a faux wood blind, that it comes with it for free. You do have two different ways to operate these blinds. One way to operate these louvers would be the tilt cord. This tilt cord would be your traditional one where you just lift up or down and then you're going to open up the louvers that way. The other way would be the wand. This wand is just your standard wand, as you can see, for louver operation. It really is 50-50, whatever you like the best, then we tell people to go with. The lift systems on all these now are cordless. The cordless lift just allows you to just push from the bottom and then the shade will go up. And then when you need it to come down, you just bring it all the way down. Traditionally with faux wood blinds though, these blinds are left down all the time and you would just be operating the louvers. Same thing goes for this one down here as well. There are certain width limits that we can't do a cordless blind, but that gets up to around just above a double window. So once you get above a double window, it's tough to cover it up with a cordless blind. That would be faux wood blinds. The next would be motorization. Motorization is great for elderly people and people that just don't feel like walking to the window anymore. One way that you can do motorization is with a remote. Here are some roller shades that are based off motorization. Right over here to the left, you can see some cellular shades that are on motorization as well. These ones right here are on nice, smooth, and quiet. You can see how you can barely even hear those motors running. The other form of motorization that we have would be to use a wand. These wands are actually some of the easiest, most affordable forms of motorization. As you can see, they just sit there. Whenever you want them to go up, hit the up button, bring them down with the down button, and you can pause them wherever you like with the pause button. They charge in the back with a micro USB, and when they're down to 20% charge, they do a little flash, and then you would just plug it in. You can